Frustrating paywall content aside, what can we look forward to and what can you actually do if you don't spend money on this update? Well, I have some good news for you. Valyria Richards is absolutely 100% free. So I'm going to show you how to get her, why you should build her, how you should build her, and go from there with other tips and tricks and skill rotations and breakdowns and stuff like that. Now, she's only available through Multiverse Saga, which initially kind of surprised me. Like, she's not even available. I know Franklin would be for sure not anywhere else, but she's not even available from the daily bios. That shocked me. She's not even there. She's literally only available from the Multiverse Saga. But this is just like the Epic Quest Deluxe Pack characters, so like her mom Sue, etc., etc. And the way that you get her is twofold. Firstly, completely free to play as you climb through the chapters, the free chapters, okay? You will get one-time rewards. Those one-time rewards will include Valyria bios. So if you just play through the Multiverse Saga free to play, you don't have to buy, you don't have to touch Franklin, you'll get 120 bios in total once you complete all six chapters plus the boss. After the 120 bios that you get, you will then be able to farm for free, right, by just spending 25 energy a day, and obviously clear tickets, because you're not going to want to play this yourself. You're going to want to clear ticket it. You can farm her bios. Now, it's a little bit tricky with the bios because right now, if you go by screenshots from my last video where I showed you guys, it was about 40 to 45 bios a day. That's a lot of bios. It's really, really good. And I was a bit suspicious. I was like, that's kind of too good. And there's also like a yellow thing around, there's a yellow border around her icon with a bio up. So if you look up here in the corner, it says biometric acquisition event plus 200%. So that's a 200% is a 4x, right? Because 100% increase is actually doubling. So 200% is actually quadrupling the drops. Now, this is only alive for the next 11 days. So for the next 11 days, you'll be able to farm 40 to 45 bios of Valyria every single day. After that, it's going to drop to about 10 to 15 bios a day. But it's still farmable completely for free. Just spend 25 energy. I highly recommend you do this. So you can and should farm all of the bios you need for Valyria 100% for free. So my advice to you is to just slowly build her up. If you're a huge fan of Valyria, then you're going to do what I'm about to do. But if you're not a huge fan of her and you just want to get her ranked up sort of in the way that is the least pain, but also the least cost, then you're just going to want to slowly build up the, whatever, 300 bios that you need, and then rank her up. Remember that now it's half the number of bios to rank up a character, so you only need 315 bios to rank her up from 1 star to 6 stars, and then it's only 1 bio per gear roll times whatever the number is, rather than escalating from 1 to 2 to 3. I'll show you the gears in a second because I'm going to do the gears for free, but I am going to use a mega rank up ticket on her. If you were, again, if you're a huge fan of Valyria, use a mega rank up ticket on her. If you're an even more huge fan of Valyria, use a mega tier 2 ticket on her. I'm actually going to save the mega tier 2 because I only have 4 of them. They actually are a little bit useful. I won't lie, they are a little bit useful, but I'll show you the gears here in a second. We're going to use a ticket. Actually, honestly, we can, I want to save the 300,000 gold. Never mind. We are going to use a ticket here for the mastery, and then I'm going to use XP chips for the level. We need to get her up to level 60 so that we can get her gears all up. Here we go. So yeah, this is just free 60 crystals for everybody, which is quite nice. Now for the gears, yes, you're going to go to 15 on all of them. Sure, that's going to cost you gold. Again, the Mega Tier 2 saves you this process. You know what? I might have thought of using the Mega Tier 2 because it's costing me 1,000 dimension debris. That's really the most expensive thing here. Is not the bios for me, it's the dimension debris. But yeah, we should be fine. 225 bios should be enough. That's only like 50 bios per gear. Anyways, let's just see what happens here. This should be enough. So yeah, it just costs 1 bio, so that's 3, so that's a total of 4. That's 11 bios in total. That's what I mean by it only costing you 1 bio per the... Okay, that's 30. Okay, so that definitely, by my math, that cost me a little bit. That actually wasn't a lot more than 50, but it definitely was more than 50. It was like 60. Okay, maybe if we don't get unlucky, are we actually going to get cucked out of being able to use 225 bios? Oh, that's great. Okay. That was the complete opposite. Wow. So that first gear cost us way more, and that second gear cost us way less. So yeah, we only used about 75 bios for the first 2 gears, we should be completely fine. And then I'm just going to use a tier 2 ticket. Again, you can do this completely. You can just do this with 2 tickets, right? Mega rank up ticket, mega tier 2 ticket, boom, boom, and you're done. Or you can do it this way, where you use just a mega rank up ticket or individual 2 to 6 star tickets that you can farm for free. And then you use the bios to get her gears. And then you use a tier 2 ticket. I'm going to use the tier 2 ticket here for 2 reasons. One, I don't know if I have enough bios. I might actually have. I'm 1 bio short. That's the most rigged shit I've ever seen in my life. That's hilarious. So even if I wasn't 1 bio short, the reason why I wouldn't press advance is because 2.5 million gold is more valuable to me than the 10 Shadowland tokens. And don't get it twisted here, until I get Valeria's artifact, that is the only value she has for my roster, is to be converted into 10 Shadowland tokens every week. Now that doesn't seem like a lot, but it's whatever, 1/1,000,000th of a CTP, so that's certainly something. But yeah, at this point, you would just use a tier 2 advancement ticket. You can see I have way more of those than I'm ever going to need, and you get one every single month just for logging in, like it's part of the base login calendar. So I highly recommend using that. It's basically just saves you 2.5 million gold every single month. It's actually great. So yeah, there's no reason, whenever you're presented with the opportunity to use a tier 2 ticket, a regular tier 2 ticket, always take that opportunity, because eventually, trust me, even if you're a brand new player and you're free to play, eventually this will happen to you, because you'll just be able to max out, like you'll be tier 2ing characters faster than you'll be able to use up all of these tickets. At first, it'll be scarce for sure, but after that, it won't. So yeah, we're gonna finish the build here now before we search for. We can actually just max her out with this first potential realization ticket. I'm not gonna do that, but I am gonna use a different ticket here. Let me show you. I have a ISO selector ticket. This is crazy. So you can go here, right? If you have an ISO selector ticket, and you should have a couple of them. I think they gave away for free, or it was like a $2 pack or something like that. I have 2 left here. And you can basically just automatically select. Look at this. So you select Power of Angry Hulk. You're like, boom, boom. And then, oh, first roll. So yeah, I would highly recommend, not for Valyria, but I would highly recommend that you use those ISO 8 selectors for your most valuable characters. When, like your Jean Greys and stuff like that. I think you should be able to use them on native tier 2s. I actually don't know. I think you can use them on native tier 2s, but I'm not 100%. But yeah, I would use those. I would save those and then use them for characters that you really want to play with, who represent like a huge power spike for your character, so that you don't just in the off chance, right? Because you don't know. It's always RNG when you're rolling for an ISO 8 set. It could be just a couple million gold for a character, or it could be 20 million gold. I have videos showing it costing me 15, 20 million gold for one character. So. But I would save it, like I said, for much more valuable, much more impactful characters to your roster, rather than literally the shortest character or one of the shortest characters in the game. She is an energy attack character. Power of Angry Hulk, or I would say, what is it called? Overdrive would be the best. Yeah, just following this is pretty handy. Hawkeye's okay, but if it leans a little bit too much into PvP with the HP and the dodge and stuff like that, you don't really need that. And the cooldown you shouldn't really need if you have good cards and you're in an alliance. Even like free-to-play cards should be enough there. So yeah, we're all capped out. The attack speed is nice to get capped out on. But yeah, she is listed as an energy attacker. So we're just going to... And you can use tickets for this as well. I have tickets here to fully amplify all 6 slots. But I would just go in... And what I would do if I were you, especially if you're low on gold, is just roll this once, one at a time. Not doing the chain amplification, and just stop when you get 4. That's what I would do. And this way you can get sort of the best bang for your buck, certainly, without blowing potentially tens of millions of gold. There we go. We ended up getting lucky on the 3rd roll just after I cut to fast forward, and it was a 5. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and equip her with energy attack here. I just like going for the top. Like, that's just my pattern that I like doing. I'll keep it symmetrical in the off chance that in the future she gets something and she becomes stronger, or maybe now, who knows? Maybe now she's useful in a full Fantastic Four team. Other than that, it's really up to you. If you're leaning towards PvP as a support, you give her some HP or whatever so that she survives a little bit longer. I would say probably maxing out her crit rate is probably quite nice as well, just to make those crits hit a little bit harder. As far as her skills, what you want to level them up, you definitely have to level up the first skill so you increase that heal and the frenzy buff. the fourth skill as well, I believe, so you can increase that damage proc from 50 to 100%, although the invincibility is still only 3 seconds. The third skill, you actually do need to as well to increase the immunity chance and the other buff. Here, you actually don't. So you can actually save 1,000,000 gold here by not leveling this up because the percentage of stats that the illusion gains is the same. It's still just 50%. The damage goes up slightly, but it's honestly not worth it. And then the first skill is usually for most characters. You don't have to at all. I'm just going to do it anyways just because we're here. But yeah, normally you could save yourself that 2,000,000 gold there. As far as her skill preview goes, I believe she is proc friendly, but I'm just going to double check here. They're asking for 3, 5, 4. So yeah, it's exactly like her mom. It's exactly like Sue. I believe it's an instant cancel with 120 hits. So that's very, very clean. One more time here, 3, 5, 4. You can instant cancel everything. So super duper proc friendly, essentially as proc friendly as it gets. You can't get more proc friendly than this. There's no hits at the beginning of 3 and 5, so it allows you to never miss the proc, and then the hits begin right at the beginning of 4 so that it'll trigger. Because she's not a tier 3 character, because she's a transcended character, you don't have to worry about doing 1 and 2 at all because you're not charging anything up. You're not charging up a tier 3 skill. And then presumably with the 6th skill, you would just do 6, 5, 4 or 6, 5, 3, 4. And then there you go. Franklin is blasting off and you get some extra hits there. And gravy. I mean, goddamn, 175? Like, I know she's a support character only, but 175 hits on her opening salvo is pretty crazy. That's a very high number for a character that does not have an infinite skill. Some good news for Valyria is she has the leadership ability, so you can combo her with White Fox to gain access to the full range of buffs, and you can use her as a striker where she uses her 4th skill, but more importantly, she gives you 10% increased damage to villains. And did we get lucky on the potential to extend the video? Oh, we did! Yo, did you see it through the top of the camera? It went psh. Bro, I'm convinced that they don't allow you to search for potential. Like, you don't get lucky on the search for potential anymore unless it's for like a meaningless character. Literally, I'm getting the lowest possible roll, or nearly the lowest possible roll, for him and for his wife every single day. They're just dragging my ass through the mud, but we get to go all the way on her build. Let's go. So we unlock Brainstorm here. We're going to enhance the potential. If you're a newer player or if you don't have a lot of resources, then my advice to you is to use the 10% method, and that is where you just go to 10% and you hit upgrade. In the long run, over lots of testing and lots of numbers and math and geniuses crunching numbers and whatever, this will cost you less materials. So if you're low on black antimatter, you're low on cosmic cube fragments, you're low on Norn stones, do the 10% method. I don't like the 10% method because it costs more gold, and I value the gold more than I value having an extra couple thousand CCF. So because of that, oh, I have a potential ticket. Oh, sick. Oh, I have a legendary. I have an advanced potential ticket. Oh, damn. So I can just save. Well, I just wasted 500,000 gold, but I can save. It's 10 million gold for the full rank up, so I can save 9.5 million gold. You know what? I will save 9.5 million gold. That was a little bit of a waste for me. I should have. Well, it's good that I still showed you guys the 10% method. Some people still don't know, or not still don't know. They came back to the game after a long hiatus and they don't remember the 10% method. The 10% method is great if, like I said, if your resources are the issue. But if not, and if it's the gold that is the issue, then absolutely don't do the 10% method and do the 100% method. Should we go to 6? I'm gonna go to 5 actually, because I have a lot of 5 tickets, but I only have 1 6. 5 is pretty nice. And we can leave the 6 for maybe like a character down the road that's going to come out that's going to be better here. Now we have to take her gear to 25 if we want to transcend her. This doesn't cost any bios. All right, with her gears all finished, let's go ahead and awaken her potential. Very nice. No real tricks here. Just spend that 1,000,000 gold, get that awakening skill. Let's go. Okay, get some lag too. Nice, spicy. All right, we got Brainstorm. Then we have to level up Genius Sister. There we go. Awakening materials a lot easier to farm nowadays because squad battles long since gone and it's all in ABX ABL. And then boom, we just transcend her potential for 500,000. And let's look at the stats here. Chuck, what do we got? 25,000 HP, 15,000 and change energy attack. The stats are low. Like the defenses are low. The HP is okay. It's not bad, but I also don't think it's going to make her competitive. Really, what you want to do is you want to try to get your hands on her artifact, right? Because her artifact gives the Fantastic Four damage to villains, basic attack, and increased damage to boss types. And that'll also help her, right? That's also just straight up buffs for her, 3 buffs for her, and they're all offensive damage-based buffs. So it should be quite nice. And keep in mind, once you transcend Valyria, even if you don't have her artifact, you can also use her as basically the best lead for Sue and potentially Johnny as well. Now, Johnny's going to be a blast male, not blast female. So he's not going to be available for every single stage that Sue and Valyria are going to be available for. But Sue and Valyria should be available for almost the same number of stages, because where Valyria doesn't have the energy projection that Sue has on the abilities, she has the leadership ability. And Sue is available for, I think, 30 stages of World Boss Legend, which is a lot. So Valyria should also be available for a lot to self-buff herself, to self-buff Sue, and then to a lesser extent to self-buff Johnny. 25% HP and 55 attack is absolutely fantastic. And then any stages where it's like leadership or it's human or whatever, and it doesn't require blast types, then she can also buff up Mr. Fantastic. I know his lead is pretty good as well, but this does give you a little bit more HP instead of that extra like 10% attack. That being said, that's the full rank up for Valyria Richards. Hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching the video. Smash the like button if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.